Hi guys, so before you click off, I hope you don't click off that quickly, I have something I want to show you that's really fun. I know I always struggle with, Design Space, Cricut Design Space, or using the Joy, things like that. It doesn't mean I don't know how to use like the Cricut what's the word, capabilities and things like that. So what I want to show you today is how to make like a shaker, literally out of anything, but I'm going to make like a little heart one with a little cupid you saw in the intro. The cutting part doesn't really matter, if I use my Joy, or if I use a Cricut Explorer machine or whatever it is that you want to use. What I want to do is just show you the steps. It's super easy. I'm not going to have any issues, so this one is going to be very smooth. I might show you a couple different ways of doing this. It does feel weird because I do have to have this turned around. Maybe I should have brought a mouse pad, but I'm just letting this start up. Of course, it's taking this long this morning. I do notice there's a difference between how long it takes on this computer than like my Apple. But anyway, that's why the lights are off. I'm going to close up on this, and hopefully you guys will be able to see what it is that you can do to do this. So I redid this. I recorded it, and my on-screen recording, I don't know what it was doing. It was acting funny, so it didn't really record super well, which is really annoying. So I'm just like, you know what, I'll do it real time talking, even though it looks better when you record the screen, but sorry guys. So I already have the project done. I did it twice, two different things, and oh well. So we're basically gonna make a shaker. Now when you make a shaker, you need your shaker, the background, you need the acetate, you need the little topper piece that makes like the little frame, and that's basically it. So we're going to cut all those things in this super easy, just using like the slice functions and copy function, things like that, or duplicate. So, and I'm going to try to use the things that are free. Now the free things aren't the cutest, but I mean, just to think of all the different shapes that you have, different things you can pop in here, and you'll be good to go. So I'm going to say new project. And okay, so I'm going to kind of keep my hand over here to keep the glare off. Sorry guys. But over here, we're going to go to shapes. And I'm going to start off with a super basic heart. And you have your heart, and I'm going to bring it here just to bring it center. Now I can pull it from here to make it larger or smaller or whatever, or you can also just click in here and actually say, I'm going to say 4 inches because that's what I want, and I think that's good. So we have 4-inch heart. Okay, from here I want to do an offset. Now this means I want my offset to be bigger than this. If you want your final project to be 4 inches, then take it down a little bit, like 3.7 or something, It depends on how big you want your offset. You're going to have to deduct that. But for me, I don't care. I'm fast and loose with those kind of things. So this is 4 inches. I'm going to click offset, which is these words right here. Super easy. I mean, this stuff is super basic, nothing, rocket science, but I used to do stuff like this on my Gypsy all the time, like fun things, and Design Space is just like my enemy. So I'm going to back up just a little bit. I'm going to do 0.325 because usually foam rolls are like a 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit smaller. So this gives me plenty of room to do that and not have to like squeeze it in or cut it or do whatever. So I'm doing 325 instead of just 0.3. So I'm going to say apply. And it should go away once it's done. Well, actually, I'll press it again. So now we have this. This is our original heart, and this is the larger heart that we just made with the offset. Okay. So right now, I think only our background heart is highlighted, which is fine because I want to click duplicate. I need another one of these guys. So this is going to be. Oopsie, I should have left that alone. Okay. Well, either way, I'll show you what happens when you move it because it was perfectly centered. This is going to be either a background heart, and then we have the foam, the acetate, and then that little frame kind of thing or whatever. We need that background, so we need to keep that one, and that's the offset one. It's not the little guy because the little guy will just be this little piece that's cut out. We need the larger offset one to copy. Okay, so you saw that I moved these, and they might not be perfectly centered anymore. So what I'm going to do is highlight them, which you just click and grab them, however you do that on your computer. I'm going to click align just to make sure they're still centered, and I'm just going to click on center because that's the best way. And you see, I was a little bit off, so it moved it just a little bit. So now here we are. These are already highlighted together because I pulled them at the same time. So now down here in these options, way down on this side. Oh, nope, did I press something? Okay, good. Down here, I want to click slice. And what that's going to do is it's going to take that heart shape that's in the center out. So let's move that away. And if you move this away, now you have this frame, and then you have these extra hearts. To be honest, we don't need these anymore. If you want to keep them on your mat just so you have them, maybe you want to not make a shaker. Maybe you're just going to do like an inlay thing, so maybe you want this to cut out in red when this is gold, and you're going to put this back in there. You know, that's up to you. I'm going to get rid of them because I do not need them. Either one of these. So now we have our piece that's going to make the background. It's also going to do the acetate that we need, and then we have this frame. I'll change the color of this just because, but you don't have to. You can keep them the same color, especially if you're using like an Explorer and you want to run a bunch of things at once, and you want to put purple paper on this side and black paper on this side and just let them cut at once. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. You can do that, but I'll just change the color of that one to purple just to have a different color. Okay, now this guy. I'm going to add a little shape in here, a little design to make it look cute. So I'm going to go into my images. Now, I want to show you something. So let's say I want free images. And let's say in my mind I want Cupid. So Cupid. And maybe you can put angel or cherub. That might pull up something. It depends on, you know, how these people listed it whenever they did it. These are the 4 results that you get. They're not bad. I mean, this one's kind of funky. This one you can separate from the heart. So if you would like this shape of this little guy and you want to pop him in, you can do that. Should I do that? I wasn't really looking for him. Let me see. Let's see that, just because it's all free, and then that way you can do this same project without having to buy what I had. I have a different Cupid. So I'll say add to canvas. And this is going to be a little more complicated because we have these 2 pieces. So what we're going to do, since we have these guys and they're stuck together, is we are going to ungroup them. Right up here, ungroup. Now I have my little guy, and I don't need this. Now if you like this, you know, you want to use it, or you can enlarge it and make a frame, a frilly heart if it matches up. Then go for it, but I'm going to get rid of that. I just want this guy. So basically this guy is going to come in here, and I'm going to weld him to my heart. Now, he is kind of in an upright shape, which isn't bad. I do want it to connect some certain spots. So like if it's connecting his little feet, let me see. That's actually, he's a good size. He's almost a perfect size, but I don't really like the way he's so straight up. So what I'm going to do is move him a little bit. I'm holding on to the circle, and I'm going to make him, oopsie, a little more like going up. And also he's facing away I don't like. So what I'm gonna do is flip him. So here we have flip, and now this is much more complicated than what I did earlier. Earlier I just cut, you know, just shrank the little guy I had because I used a different picture. So we want to flip him horizontally, and now he's facing this way, and I like that. So what I'm gonna do is make it connect. His little feet are the only thing connecting right now. The rest of his little body is just kind of out here. And maybe move him a little bit more. Now, I'm using just my hands to do this. If you want to be more exact, you can use, like, some of these other functions. Why is it? I wanted to go a little bit more this way, and he keeps... No. No. My touchpad is not being sensitive enough right now. There we go. Right there somewhere. I want his little feet shape to still be visible, you know? They're so cute. But okay, let's say that's what we want. And before I mess with him, I'm going to also duplicate him, because let's say later you decide that you want to put another color on top, which you could have just done to begin with. You wouldn't have to weld him. You could just take an image and stick it on top. But I'm going to duplicate him. So now I have this extra part that I can duplicate. Here, I'm going to come back and I'm going to highlight these 2. And then we're going to weld them down here. Down over here. We're just going to press weld. And now I have this one piece that's a shaker. So I have this that's going to make the background, this that's going to make my acetate, and then this guy, right? Now, if you want to do all those different pieces with the acetate, you are going to duplicate this guy too, just in case, because you need a background paper, that you need acetate if you want to separate them out, or you can run this one twice, but it's easier just to have them separate already. So I'm going to have duplicate, and I'll change the color of one of them. It didn't really matter which one. Let's say pinkish. Okay, so now we have all our pieces for a shaker. Again, if you want to then cut this in a different color and top them on there, or you just want the silhouette, which is what I wanted. So that's something. And then we can click make it, and then of course it's going to say to cut this one, and then cut this piece, and then cut this piece, okay? I don't care about that right now. So I'm just going to save this as second Cupid. And if I can share this file, I will, because everything I used was free. But it's possible that it told me that was free and it's not really the one. Now, let me go back and I want to show you something when I go back to images. I had said free Cupid. Okay, well, how about what it looks like if I choose the purchased ones. Ownership. So ownership, purchased, and it's going to give me 7 results. And I don't know if you can see, none of these results are really, and actually these results are different from what I saw even earlier today. I'm telling you, these people are crazy. Earlier I still had a few, but they weren't these guys. This is the one I kept using. Super cute. How come the free ones aren't on here? Some of them are, but not all of them. It's just like, to me, if it's free and or if you purchased it, that should be synonymous, right? But anyway, who cares? Okay, so let's start a new project, because I'm just done with that. I want to show you one other thing real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, I'm going to do the hearts again, and I'm going to do the offset at, I'm going to do 3.75 inches, because this one's going to be a little bit bigger. Let's do 3.5. So I'm going to make it 3.5 inches, and I'm going to do the offset and all that, and I'll come back at that point, okay? So I'm going to do 3.5. So basically I just did the whole same thing with the offset being a 3.25. I don't know why I had to press twice on this one. Okay, so we have our background. It's highlighted right now. I do not want to do anything with that right now, actually. What I'm going to do is make some little circles. So this tag, this shaker, is going to have a little thing to make it a tag. So let's go to shapes. Let's get ourselves a circle. Now again, you can change the circle however you like. I'm going to just eyeball this. And if it's like that small, and then I pop in a little thing. So I'm going to go a little bit smaller. It's about, let's say, 0.5. Okay. Let's go in here and say 0.5. So 0.5 is what I'm doing, just so you know. And from this one, we are going to offset it. So let's press offset, same offsets, set at 325, say apply. And then these guys are here. I'm not sure if those are selected together, so what I'm going to do is select them like this, right? So we just highlighted them. I'm going to say slice, because what we're going to do now is make ourselves like a little hole. Now I can just throw this out. We don't need that anymore. This little guy, I'm going to bring it over here. And that can be that. Now, there's a few ways to do this, because what I want is the background piece to also have the little circle. So before I do that, this can be the acetate piece, right? I'm just highlighting the black piece, so I'm going to duplicate it, and that's to make an acetate piece, just of the black background. This gray guy is still there because I want to see something. I've done this a couple different ways, and I haven't tried this way. So this guy, and let's say I highlighted him. Oh, no. I don't want to move you. I want to highlight that guy and just the black piece in the back. I don't know if the gray one's going to come with. I have that tag loop. I want to align them, and I want to align it left and right. I don't care about up and down because I did that myself. So I'm just say center horizontally. Hey, I did a pretty good job because it didn't even move. Okay, so he's perfectly set. This guy, I'm going to move away, because if you're really good and you can only catch this guy and the other guy, you can click weld, right? Sorry, weld there, down here. And hopefully you're only attaching, but see, I reattached everything, so I don't want that. That's what I'm saying. So I have to move it away, just because I'm not good at touching these things. So I'm going to take this guy and move it away. I'm going to highlight these two and go ahead and weld those together. And now that's one piece, right? Now I'm going to bring this guy back. The only thing is, if we go to center this guy, I'm going to move him to front. Hold on. Let me see if I can do that. Okay. Send that back. Okay. When I come over here, I can probably center it left and right, but it's going to be hard to center up and down, because now it's going to count for that little circle. And you can probably do this different ways in your mind and think about it. I don't really want to do that. Well, I'm just going to hold that, and I'm going to align this horizontally. And then I think I'm happy with that, but if I'm not, what I can do is just take this guy and move it down just a tad. He looks like he needs to be, oop. See what happens when we start messing with it. That looks pretty good. Let me do it again. So this one's a little bit more persnickety, but again, you can probably have other tips and tricks the way you wanted to align it. Because if you say, I just want to show you, if I say center, it's taking into account that circle up there. So we could have done this different ways, but it's fine. Let's just undo that. And, oopsie. That looks pretty good, but I do want to align it left and right just in case. And that's not too bad. Maybe it has to go up a little bit. Okay, so now, oh, no, before we do that, now what you want to do is take a copy of that back one. So I'm just clicking on the the big heart, duplicate, because you want that for your backer, right? Your backer, you might want to have a shaker. And this one is the acetate. I don't care if it has the shaker, the little, the tag. So I don't really care about that one. But if you wanted that to have the tag too, then make a copy at this point, not before. Now, these two, I just highlighted them. I'm going to slice to make our little shaker frame. Now these guys, I don't need them again, so I'm just going to delete them. And then we have this guy. And just for funsies, on the last time, I'm telling you, I rated this video. Ugh, it was only 6 minutes long. This one's probably much longer because now I'm chit-chatting with you guys. But I'm going to do images. And again, I did cat, and I did like a free cat. So actually, when I did this one, I did a cat that I owned because the free cats looked weird. So let's do ownership, purchased, and let's say cat. Those little emojis popping up. I know I do this very high tech. It was just funny. I recorded, but it was like, it captured the screen, but in a way that was like, it would skip pieces. I'm like, what is going on? So I don't know if it's whenever this thing was thinking that my other thing wouldn't, and my program wouldn't. Oh, there I don't know. Finally. Oh, that's not good. Okay, I don't want every single cat. I want my purchased ones. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's a cute shape. So earlier what I did was I just used this one because I just want a silhouette shape. I don't care. So I'm going to add that to canvas. And I'm going to bring this over. And I just basically, I'm going to put him right here. And I'm going to shrink it up a little bit just so he's a little bit smaller. And all the way down. And if I want to center this guy, again, left and right, that's what I'll do. But other than that, I don't care. Center horizontally. Oh, that's so cute. So then we're going to just... Oh, no, we're going to copy him just in case you want a topper of him, right? So let's duplicate. And then now I'm just going to take these two. And down here, click weld. And now we have that guy. So now we have a shaker that's going to be this on top of that. Of course, the acetate in the background. And now we have all these pieces. So I'm trying to think if I want to actually make this. Well, let's do different colors because that definitely needs to cut somewhere else. These two can be like the same if you wanted them to be. Probably not. But you definitely want the shaker part, the plastic part, to be by itself because you want the pressure on that to be like super good, and you want it to, if you play, let's say, let me show you. I don't know if it's going to let me do it. Actually, the machines are on, but I don't think my Bluetooth is on. I want to say the Cricut Joy is on. Okay, so I have it on Explore. So when you get to this one, when you go to cut it, it's going to ask you what material, and I would say it is, because if I click continue, it's going to want to hook up to the machine. Heavyweight cardstock, the heaviest weight cardstock, because it'll cut it 3 times, or if it has an acetate option, say acetate. Okay, so that part I'm gonna leave to you guys because that's the part that's always like the craziest here on my videos. So, you know, maybe it doesn't even respond, or maybe the Joy wants to be slow or whatever. So I'm gonna cut my pieces and then we'll put something together just so you can kind of see what this looks like. And I'll be right back. I will quickly show you, like, this is super heavyweight cardstock. I'm just gonna press continue, and it's connect to your Joy. This is going to take a minute. So I'm going to let it do that. I'm telling you, the other day I had cut these little cupids. Oh, where did I put them? Oh, anyway, it doesn't matter. And they were just, you know, not doing their thing. Like even this guy right now isn't doing what he should. So let me, I don't want the air too. I'm going to turn off my Cricut Joy and plug it back in, see if that helps. And yes, there's no way to turn off the Joy other than unplugging it and plugging it back in, which is super great. I told you guys this is why the part I'm not going to show, because it's just like craziness. Anyway, I'm going to wait for that to connect and I'll be back. Success. It had forgotten, I guess, from being paired a long time ago, so I had to re-add it, which... I always show those kinds of things in video. Hopefully you know how to do that. Just go into your Bluetooth devices and add it as the device and wait for it to load up. So I already have on here some of my popular things, which would be heavy cardstock, 270 GSM. This is actually 300 GSM, but I've cut this before on here and it was fine. So I'll say it's that kind of cardstock. And this is for the little topper part. I'm just doing black. And we're going to pop this guy in here. Move my computer so it doesn't get in the way, but I think it's going to be okay. And then, okay. and then I'm going to click go down here, and I'm going to let that cut. I will cut the acetate. Hopefully it'll work. And if it just etches it, to be honest, it's just a heart, I'll just finish cutting it. But we'll see. So I'm going to let it go. And what I want you to know is, like I said, with the heavy cardstock, it goes over it 3 times. There goes 1, there goes 2, the same spot, and there goes 3, the same spot. Okay, now it's moving on to somewhere else. 1 cut. It's up here, so it might take a little while. Anyway, it's going to go over the same cut. Whatever that cut is, it's going to do it 3 times, so it really gets through. So that's all connected. That's so funny. All of this is connected, so all I had to do was that little piece, and everything else is all at one cut. So it's going to do that 3 times completely. Anyway, she's not always a pain, so now she's doing that cut again. But sometimes she is. But I'll be back. Okay, it did those 3 cuts, and I'm just going to unload. And the next one is to cut the cupid. Now, I don't really care about cutting the cupid because I'm not going to do that layer, but again, yes, we tip this back and we cut this. I know last time people were like, oh, you're supposed to pull, which I mentioned in the video, you're supposed to pull this away, and that's like the oldest trick that Cricut has put out since they used to sell their machines on infomercials. Well, at least that's what I remember. Look at that. So it did a really great job. Remember the other day I was struggling with her? Okay, so, you know, today she's behaving very well. And that's our little topper. Look how big it is. Oh my gosh. So the next one, which I'm not going to do, is the cupid. I don't care about that, so I'm not going to do that one. And then we do need the, what's going to be the background and what's going to be the acetate. So let's just say this is going to be the acetate for now. And I'm going to cut down this piece of acetate. Oh, this piece. It's thick stuff, and I'll be right back. I'm going to cut it down to fit here what it says. Basically, I need it to be the whole 4.5 by 5 inches. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I pressed that I want 3 to be the next thing I do. I'm not going to do 2. I'm going to browse all materials because I want to see if they have that on here as a thing, right? Which I think they do, but plastic foil acetate, which I don't know what that means. But since I haven't done that, let's go ahead and try it. Let's say foil acetate. That doesn't make any sense. But okay. Say done. And if that's a problem, then I'll just do it again. I don't really care. This is just literally a heart, but I want it to be the same shape, so. Okay. I stuck that acetate down real well. This is the light grip matte. And let's go. Let's see what happens. It should be pretty quick, unless it needs to do it 3 times, which hopefully, I don't know. I don't really know what foil acetate means. Okay, yep. Ooh, it's starting to move my acetate. Ooh, don't do that. Nice. Okay, unload. You guys are going to be so happy for me if it works, because you guys are going to be like, yay! Vianney doesn't have a headache today. Look at that. And it cut it twice. Of course, there's a little stickiness if we need to rub that away, but that's fine. So now we have that. And the last piece I'm going to cut is just a pink background, and that's matte 4. So I don't have any lights on it here right now, guys. That's why it looks like that, so my computer wouldn't be tripping you out. But I'm going to cut matte 4 and out of this pink paper, and I'll be back. Okay, unload matte, and there it is. So that is the project as quickly. I mean, honestly, think of any shape that you want to pop in here and just do that with. Again, I can cut out in gold, maybe just the little cupid and put him back on there. But super cute. So let's just put this together real quick. Why not? It doesn't have a tag because I didn't make this one with a tag, but like the other one had a little tag loop. Super cute, super cool, super cute. I got mixed up. Let me clean up, put this stuff away, and we'll put this together. You know, she's behaving today. It's so funny how it was all blue until I put my hands in here and turned green. I ordered a different background, actually. Real quick, these are what I made the other day, and they cut just funny. I cut glitter, I cut the foily kind of, you know, metallic paper, I cut, you know, really thick heavyweight cardstock. It just kept disconnecting from the Bluetooth on my Mac. My Mac is like a brand new computer. It's a Pro, you know, like MacBook Air. Like, what? And it was just like, nope. After like every other cut, and I was just waiting and waiting and then disconnecting the thing and putting it back, and sometimes that didn't work, and I was just like, what is going on? Until it just felt like working. It was ridiculous. That's why I'm like, it's not because like I said, sometimes it is because I don't understand the program, but it's mostly just like that kind of thing, that the aggravation is just too much that I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. Anyway, we're just going to glue this together. I wish I would have put a little tag on this one. That would have been really cute. But I didn't. So now we're going to do this. just stick this little guy down. We don't want all these little pieces to move since I decided to leave them kind of free floating. And just like any other shaker, we're just going to stick this together. And I know, and then I think one of my gals here, Tracy, she's like, just get rid of it, the joy. The thing is, I already made the purchase, right? I have my Explorer Airs, I have an Anna Griffin edition, I have the Air 2, I have my Expressions, which is my favorite machine ever. I'll still use that because of my cartridges, right? I have hundreds of cartridges, and they're not all linked to Design Space. It's a whole pain to get that done now, especially. They used to be, and then Cricut forgot, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to take my little stuff here, and I already made the investment, and I know people are curious, and some people like the way I do my videos because I do show like the hiccups, and I do show like, okay, oh, I didn't mean to do that, you know, okay, how do we get out of that, or however. And some people have videos that are just perfect, but guess what? When you're at home, it's not always perfect, and you need to know how to back out or get out of whatever it is that you did, or how did I get here? What is this? Right? It happens. So anyway, I'm just going to line this with my little foam. I generally wait a little bit for the glue to dry, but I'm just moving along. This video, literally, I didn't think was going to take this long, but hopefully that worked out for you guys and gave you some ideas. Again, you can put any shape in there. You can just make it a silhouette. It doesn't even have to start off as a silhouette shape. I'm going to try to get this really in there. So as you can see, I made myself a really nice offset so that way I could do this. It's not like this little tiny piece of foam area that I'm afraid that's gonna, you know, show up or whatever. And look at this. Now some people, if you want, you can take like a black ink marker, like your Copic or something, and just line the inside of your foam. That way when you're looking in here you don't see it as much, right? The white foam, but I don't really care enough to do that. It's fine for me. And I'm gonna put a little bit of glitter in here, or sequins. These are kind of big. Again, you always want to butt up your foam as much as you can because you don't want things coming out. So make sure to butt that up. I think I could have done a little better job at the tip there. But how cute, and that little cat one or whatever, like I said, whatever shape you want to pop in there, and just cut it out in black and you're good to go. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's flatten this out a little bit. And this little guy, before I really squeeze it down, I'm trying to see what I'm doing, but I know you guys can see it better than I can. And this is a big shaker. I mean, we can put whatever we want. I kind of went for that on purpose. The reason I did it 4 inches too is because that was like almost the biggest the Joy can do on this one. If you do the one with the little circle loop, that adds to it. So if you do it 4 inches, it's going to be too big for the Joy. So you need to, that's why I did like 3.75 and then everything else. Look at that. I might use this for my topper. Oh, if I do that, I'm going to open it up, add a little bit more. For my embelly case, the second one that I haven't worked on yet. But look at this. So cute, right? All right. Hopefully that was something fun and triumphant, and you can try it out and let me know how it works out for you. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I will link this project, if I can, in the description box. That would just be so that you can... or share it, however it is that you do that on Cricut. So I'll figure it out, and I'll get it in the description box, hopefully. Okay, guys? So if you want this one, because again, it's just all free cuts, and it's not that you have to have the same cartridges I have. So hopefully that'll be fun for you. All right, guys. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.